Well, for the Dutch economy, we're probably aligned with what some of my colleagues have told you. We are less gloomy or less pessimistic than we were before, but at the same time, we're cognizant of the fact that there's a lot of uncertainty. Gas prices are much lower than they were in August, but we don't know what the next winter will look like.
Do you think that the worst is over, though?
We hope the worst is over, and certainly inflation levels are going down, but obviously interest rates have not peaked yet, and core inflation in the Netherlands, but in other countries too, has really broadened and has consolidated. So we need 2023 and probably 2024 to feel more solid about what the future holds.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it echoes what the Dutch Central Bank governor was saying to my colleagues earlier on. Mr. Knot was saying that the inflationary pressures are still very much there, and therefore it's still very present in your minds. Do you think that inflation has peaked, or?
No, from our perspective, obviously we're also guided by the ECB and the Dutch National Bank and other economists. We think in the Netherlands it has peaked. We've had extraordinary, historically high inflation levels. They go back 3 to 4 decades. So for us that was already quite sadly an historic event. But at the same time it will remain quite high. And in the Netherlands, for instance, employers have not yet taken the price hikes to a level, the salary hikes to a level that a lot of the labor unions and employees expect. So there might be a recalibration this year in the Netherlands too. But core inflation has sort of consolidated, and that's a source of concern for many of the low to middle income households.
Yeah, and interesting what you're saying about wage pressure is something to watch out for, and I'm sure the ECB are watching very closely. I was speaking to the IEA director, Fatih Birol, yesterday, and I asked him about how Europe's going to fare coming into this next winter, so not this one, the upcoming one. And he said he's a little bit worried about Europe's ability to make it through the winter simply because China's coming back on the market again. It's going to be difficult for Europeans to source LNG if they need it. But I guess alongside that means that there was going to be still a lot of onus on governments to step in, to help support households, to continue along the lines of some of the breaks and the tax breaks that have been offered. My question to you is whether European governments still actually have that fiscal borrowing, that power, the firepower to make it through another winter.
Well, maybe 3 responses related to the question. One of them is we need to accelerate the energy transition, come rain or shine, and we need to do more also when it comes to stimulus packages on that front. Secondly, we are concerned. In the Netherlands or Germany, we've had the fiscal space to come up with historically generous packages too. But in doing so, we've also boosted indirect inflationary pressures, and we can't and shouldn't do that anymore. So we're looking at an exit and only targeted and timely measures. Other European countries are doing the same, and certainly collectively we don't have the fiscal space to keep doing what we've done, and we need to do it in a significantly, truly coordinated way at a European level. And that's been a plea other ministers of finance and myself have expressed time and again, but we need to obviously make a choice between the measures available. Now, Europe is also having to look at the new fiscal guidance for 2024, and I think we need to combine the two, because whatever we do will have an impact, but we need guidance in order to mirror ourselves against a European level of choices.
I guess this ties into the broader conversation that we've been having here about what Europe's response should be to the Inflation Reduction Act. And we heard from European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen the other day here at WEF, and she was talking about the possibility for a common solidarity fund to respond, possibly even a relaxation of state aid rules. What do you think should be the right response?
Well, I think, first of all, we should take it as an opportunity. There's ongoing dialogue and negotiations with the US or at the level of exemptions.
So no trade spat, potentially?
But no trade span. This is in no one's interest, and I think it's missing the point. Equally so in Europe, we are doing a lot. We're actually at a par when you compare sort of the size of the packages that have been chosen before. But within Europe, we could do more to be more competitive, preserving the internal market and our level playing field, and I think a relaxation and simplification of state aid rules can be a way to go. The Netherlands, of course, and here we sort of have a bit of a carve-out position, we are not necessarily in favor of specially designed new funds. We feel that the funding that's available across the board should first be allocated, but we need to know what is the what, to which end, which purpose, which sectors do we want to really foster innovation, and do we want to build or retain an edge, and then what is the funding gap? Then we choose the ways in which we can fund it.